2022 that we are on Treaty 6 territory, a traditional meeting grounds, gathering place, and travel route to the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, and Nakota Sioux. We acknowledge all the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples whose footsteps have marked these lands for centuries. Hello everyone, my name is Kinsey, and it is my pleasure to be introducing you to this year's 2021 Nellie Talks. What is Nellie Talks? Nellie Talks is a virtual video series made to empower young women by having strong, independent, and impactful female speakers from all different kinds of backgrounds speak about their careers and experiences. This event is hosted by the Nellie McClung All-Girls Junior High program at Oliver School. This all-girls program is a junior high that focuses on the empowerment and development of young women and establishing leadership skills in those attending the school. This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Nellie McClung program, and we want to celebrate this milestone with some special alumni speakers. For the past several years, Nellie students have been organizing and facilitating our annual Power of Women event, or POW. At this large in-person event, speakers and students had the opportunity to interact in person. Unfortunately, due to the fact of the COVID-19 virus, we are unable to hold this uplifting and inspiring event in person. However, we believe this event will still be motivational and an eye-opening experience for all those watching. We are honored and thankful to have this opportunity to prepare and host this event, and are proud to say that this event has been primarily created by the Nellie McClung students. However, we would not be able to bring this vision to life without the help from our teachers, staff, and the Nellie L. McClung Educational Society, who helped make this event possible. Without further ado, we would like to present our first speaker in our very first Nellie Talks event.
Hello, everybody. My name is Fervone Goings, and I'm so excited to be sharing my story with you today, and I'm grateful to have been asked to participate in the Nellie Talk series by the students of Nellie McClung Junior High. As I begin, I would like to acknowledge that I was born, raised, educated, and have worked most of my life on Treaty 6 territory. With deep appreciation and recognition to Dr. Jessica Vandenberg, an Indigenous engineering professor from the University of Alberta, who has crafted this acknowledgement. Situated on the traditional territory of Treaty 6, we live, work, and play upon a land that carries the footsteps and hearts of many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people that have been here for thousands of years and many generations. I would like to acknowledge our and their relationships with Mother Earth. It is an interconnected relationship, and we have an obligation to respect that this land has nourished, healed, protected, and embraced us. And we're grateful to the Indigenous peoples that have been stewards of this interconnected relationship. I use the pronouns she and her, and I'm visibly recognized as a white woman. Both sets of my grandparents immigrated to Canada from Eastern European countries in the period between the two world wars. And they raised their families on farms in Western Canada. I grew up in a small town to a single mother and was considered low income. I was the first in my family to attend university. Although I worked hard to achieve personal success, I also acknowledge that the way people in the world perceive me is different from how they might perceive someone else who may have a different skin tone than me, or has a physical disability, or speaks differently than I do. So I recognize that because of this, I have had a certain set of privilege that other folks might not have. And as a result, it has given me opportunities in life that others may not have received. I currently lead an organization called WISEST, which stands for Women in Scholarship, Engineering, Science, and Technology. We are based at the University of Alberta, and our whole reason for being is to promote diversity while empowering women in the STEM fields, which we mean as science, technology, engineering, and math. I will share more about WISEST later, but first, I'd like to share a little bit more about me and how I got to where I am today. When I was growing up, I never had a clear sense of what I wanted to do or be when I was older. I never once remember saying with bold confidence that I wanted to be a teacher, or I wanted to be a pilot, or I wanted to be fill in the blank. There's a joke in our family that as a young boy, my husband declared that he wanted to be a fire truck when he grew up. Not a firefighter, but a fire truck. Some of you may have that clarity of purpose. I never did. And I often felt that something was wrong with me because I didn't have that clear direction. And this was a theme for me for many years. But I learned that uncertainty, although sometimes uncomfortable, is okay. What it has meant for me is that I've tried to be open to the unexpected, to new opportunities, and pushing myself into new life and work experiences. What I did start to realize about myself in junior high was that I liked finishing projects. I liked doing things well, and the praise and sense of accomplishment that came with good grades and a strong academic performance. I joined lots of clubs and volunteered because it made me feel good, and I liked being part of something, part of a community. I was an organized perfectionist, and so often took control of things and enjoyed the praise that came with that. But I was also stubbornly independent, and so tended to want to do things my way. I was not a really good team player when I was younger. I had to develop this skill. In high school, as a strong academic student, it was assumed I would go to university, and I wanted that too. But despite the many opportunities that I had to pursue, I had no clear direction or mentorship to focus on those opportunities. I remember a teacher reminding me that I would need a good job when I graduated, so that I was to let that help me decide what I was going to do. Looking back, that advice wasn't overly helpful, and it really just made it more confusing to me. It was too vague a target. How do you define what a good job is? So I was floundering. In grade 11, a biology teacher opened up the world of science to me in a way that made me stand up and pay attention. And it just made sense that my love of learning would best be channeled into scientific discovery. I was fortunate enough to receive a significant scholarship that paid for my undergraduate degree, and I chose to major in honors biology at a small university. In my classes, there was gender parity, by which I mean there was generally equal numbers of males and females. And I had female professors and very supportive male professors. And as a result of having female role models I respected and good relationships with male peers, the gender gap in STEM was less obvious to me. And so my ability to succeed in my chosen major was never a doubt. However, I was still uncertain about career paths. So after my biology degree, I pursued a master's in science in environmental microbiology. I graduated and I landed a research position with a government organization. I had arrived. I was a research scientist. But after a few years in the lab, I found myself questioning my trajectory. I was really lost. I lacked mentors, I lacked professional development opportunities, and all of this while I was navigating a male-dominated field. I struggled a lot, not knowing what was expected of me, not knowing how to achieve my goals, or even how to use my education and training. And I ultimately left the sciences completely. The next few years came with challenges, but also new opportunities, as I again tried to figure out what I wanted to do for a career. I took risks. I stretched myself in roles that I felt intimidated by. Meanwhile, my husband and I built a small but successful home renovation company, and we raised a family. A number of volunteer and work experiences highlighted for me that working in the not-for-profit sector was something that appealed to me. I enjoyed work that aligned with my personal values and had an impact in my community. And so I found myself taking courses and accepting management roles in the not-for-profit sector. Then 5 years ago, I saw the opportunity to work with WISEST, and I knew that this was the job for me. Joining WISEST allowed me to bring together my diverse career and life experiences. This role has brought together a number of things I was really interested in, but also had experience in. It allowed me to use the skills that I had gained not only from doing science and research, but also in developing a business and in managing a not-for-profit organization. So some of you might be wondering, what exactly is WISEST? And as I mentioned, WISEST stands for Women in Scholarship, Engineering, Science, and Technology. And our whole goal is to advance diversity in STEM. And we do this by creating opportunities for students through education, outreach, and mentorship, all in an inclusive and welcoming community. I spend my days working with like-minded individuals as we seek to understand the barriers that can prevent underrepresented students from pursuing education in the STEM world. And we work to bring about change by providing exposure to STEM opportunities at various stages in a student's journey, starting in grade 6 and then continuing with students through junior high and high school. But we also support students in post-secondary and individuals working in STEM professions. So if you like science and math and want to be part of a community that will support your journey, I invite you to check out what WISEST can offer you. Go to our website, www.uab.ca/WISEST, or follow us on Instagram at WISESTUAlberta. In junior high, you can get involved by applying to be on the WISEST Youth Council. This council invites students aged 13 to 20 to have a voice and share their perspective on WISEST programs and initiatives, and to work on team projects that matter to them. In high school, there's the SET conference and the summer research program, so I encourage you to think about those and pursue those opportunities. Working with WISEST has given me new insight into my own experience in science. Looking back, I realized that I had huge insecurities, a lack of clarity on what was expected of me and how to achieve my goals. I chalked up a lot of that anxiety and doubt to inexperience and being the first person in my family to go to university. But I realize now that there were other issues at play, obstacles and challenges that made me feel the way I did. I have finally discovered what I want to be when I grow up, and it's not a job title. I work for an organization that aligns with my personal values. I honestly love what I do and feel that I have the right skills to lead this organization, and that is very fulfilling and incredibly rewarding. I don't take this for granted because my journey took many unexpected twists and turns and was not always easy. I once read a career development book that had an exercise that asked me to write down all the things I would love in a dream career. After doing so, I looked at the list and thought, there is no job in the world that matches that description. And as I tried to match a job title to that list, it was impossible. And then I had an aha moment. A job title was never going to match. I had to look beyond the titles and find a deeper connection to the actual work. Thinking back to that teacher in high school who told me to go find a good job, the thing I discovered along the way is that how you define what a good job is very personal. It rarely links to a job title or salary or a list of responsibilities. For me, a good career is one that allows me to use and develop my personal strengths and skills every day. It gives me a place to learn and grow and to work on projects and issues that matter to me and align with my own values. Advice I would give my junior high self, and maybe some of you might find something useful here. Learn to view challenges as opportunities and be open to opportunities. You can't predict where they will lead you. Pursue a life that makes sense to you, and you will discover joy and fulfillment. Decisions that seem to be the end of something can later bring you into a new opportunity. Embrace curiosity and personal growth, and you will always have the chance to achieve new things. Even when you think you're in the absolute wrong place, the wrong situation, the wrong class, the wrong job, it doesn't have to be miserable or a waste. Use that time to still learn something that you can take with you to your next better place. Embrace a strengths-based approach to life. We all have things we do well naturally, and those things that we don't. Yes, develop the areas that you need to improve in, but don't neglect your strengths. Find ways to use your strengths in your schoolwork, your friendships, your volunteering, your hobbies. You will be happier and you will have more success than if you're always focusing on or over-focusing on what you struggle with. This might not apply to you right now with your least favorite subject in school. You still may have to work on that to pass. But if you want to learn more about this approach, I encourage you to search The Science of Character. It's a short cloud film that you can find on YouTube. It's about 8 minutes long, and it really introduces this topic. Life is a journey, and your career is only one part of it. Don't let the stress of that one part overshadow all other aspects of your life. Your attitude will be the best predictor of the success you will have in life. Don't isolate yourself. Build community around you and lean on them for support. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. You only know part of their story. And with yourself, hindsight is always 20/20. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for your time. I wish you all the best. Take care and goodbye.